Hi, and welcome to a very special Coworking, a podcast about what makes Coworking special. And this month, we're welcoming Jan Lichota or Lichota?
Jan Lichota.
Lichota from the Association Space and Visit Brussels. Uh, they just created this year a space for nonprofit NGOs association in Brussels, the capital of Europe. But Jan has been working with association for much, much longer. So today we'd like to talk about why did they choose to create a co-working space very niche just for the association, and how has it been, because it's been only a few months. First of all, Jan, thank you very much for being here with us.
Thank you very much, Fanny. It's a big pleasure to be now on stage at a very special co-working, following so many interesting episodes that happened so far.
Yeah, we've been in contact through LinkedIn, and I see that you react to the videos and all that. So it's very heartwarming to see people following the podcast. As I was saying, the association place is very new, correct? When did you start it exactly?
As well, we have an official inauguration in November 2023. It was 12th of November to be exact. And we started operating as a co-working and meeting space and as a community space in particular in January this year. So 2024 has been an active year for us with all the activities. Even though that the space has a much longer origin, because I personally integrated here the team in spring, but I've been at the beginning of the project 8 years ago.
So beginning 8 years ago, that was in 2016. I understand it wasn't a co-working space yet at that time, or was it?
No, it was. In fact, this building was previously there were. It has an interesting history because it is a building which is in a backyard of a. Yeah, we have a building in front and we have a courtyard, and then we have a building in the backyard, which
Yes.
in fact used to be. It used to be a workshop. And some people that work in this workshop also visited the place and told us a little bit about the history. There used to be also carriages that were that were parking here, so it was like a garage for carriages. And afterwards, there were here offices that at some stage when the lease ended was well, there was no occupancy, and a new destination was given to the building itself, which coincided with the setup of a new form of the activities of Visit Brussels for international associations, with the development of the Convention and Association Bureau, and a dedicated section to international associations. At that time, the Association Bureau, which I integrated at that time, and this was a priority project.
Yes, because you've been working with associations for several years, correct?
Yes, my adventure with international associations began already. For me at university when I was with all the international associations that are present at the university, Isaac, Elsa, taking part in international conferences. But my favorite was the youth meeting of the International Federation of Camping and Caravanning. So, and there I could see the evolution of youth volunteers and how people can be integrated into associations from different perspectives. And when I arrived to Brussels, I saw the more formal side of international associations with trade federations. And I started to work for one. Luckily, it was a sector that I liked a lot, the Brewers of Europe. So it was related with beer. And I, as a fresh student of legal studies, dealing with being a beer lawyer, which I'm very proud of. Was a very
That's
good
very
match.
niche, I believe, too. Yeah. There
Yes.
aren't many in the world, I guess.
There are more and more, and they like to claim
Okay,
it. They like to claim it.
Maybe there's a whole club, actually. You never know. And I guess Brussels is a key place for association in Europe because there are so many institutions already in Brussels. So it might be a place, important strategic place to work with association here in Brussels.
Indeed, it has its historical reasons because many associations were founded here already in the end of the 19th century. But also Belgium has a special legislation for international associations that was put after the First World War. And it has even a special status of the so-called International Non-Profit Association, which at the beginning was mainly used by scientific societies, and later on, especially trade federations started to use it. And with every decade, we saw the evolution of the society with NGOs, for other sectors coming into the city, developing their activities and adopting that statute.
Yeah, we can see you're a lawyer, you know your stuff. And so that's been in the recent decades. And I guess with the EU, it added even more, or maybe it was just in the trend since the end of the Second World War, as you were saying.
It happened gradually. Not everybody put their association immediately in Brussels. So some, when they were in other cities, it came over time. So it's interesting to see associations who are celebrating their 60th anniversary with the foundation of the European Economic Community Treaty, where they were constituted at the beginning. And but nowadays we count in Brussels with more than almost 2.5 thousand international association seats. So headquarters of organizations in the city.
When you started working with association, what kind of work did you do with them? I guess consulting about laws or something like that, or?
Well, it came a little bit with experience. So as I was a legal advisor at the association, so I had partly some policy issues, but a lot of duties related to internal governance, and then to deal with the legal system in Belgium and in Europe. So with time, you learn with it. And then I integrated. I was doing other duties in the media sector before joining Visit Brussels, when they were looking for a manager of the association bureau who had experience in international associations and also with the local system and the local community, which was which is very important here. And this project was also put as a priority as a community house already almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, because as I was saying, how do you go from being a beer lawyer to managing a co-working space for association? It's a big leap. I guess it's full of little steps.
Yes. So it's a constant learning process, but the advantage of working with international associations is that they release a lot of interesting material. So you learn from them a lot before working with them. And also the interesting thing was that one can use skills from different areas. So the legal part is one, but it's over time it's just it's not a primary one. With what is interesting is to learn also what cultural centers do. because they have to constitute activities upon a certain model, and to attract the public and do things for audience together with management of facilities. The good thing that in my personal experience was to be on the wave of the rise of startups and the different EU programs related to them, and the creation of co-working facilities in Brussels, but also in Europe. So, as well as in the US. So whenever there was an opportunity during a business trip to visit a co-working space, it was in the program. So when we had a trip to New York, I had the opportunity to visit some. The same in Washington, which is our partner city, and also to look what our other partners from the Dubai Association Center were doing at the same time when they inaugurated their own space for international associations.
Yeah, so you had the opportunity to look all over the world in different cities, in different culture, what they were doing, and to bring that back here and adapt your project based on that, your learnings.
That was the case, and the good thing is that to be surrounded with a good team and the trust of my own organization to go forward. So, as I said, the project took some years. So
yeah, because you were mentioning several times that the space, the co-working space or the meeting space, was a priority many years ago, but you needed time to work on that project and to make it a reality today.
Indeed, so it took some time. So we had a lot of struggles with some administrative issues when you have to repeat a call for tenders. So I'm grateful to all the people that follow this when I switched positions. But that the positive aspect was that this has not stopped the project. That's why we see inaugurated today. And so instead of focusing just on the facility management and building itself, the focus was also on items non-related to the venue itself, but more to the community management, looking for software, organizing events. So because Brussels, the association place. So our space, in fact, can be the whole city. But even if we have a venue, so we started with some events that were focused to international associations, and nowadays they become events for event planners. So generic ones, which is positive because that means that we are not just bound to one type of audience. And second, we could also see the evolution of the how co-working spaces were evolving over time. Also, how community management was evolving, especially in the Corona times. Newcomers on the market, new programs like a very special co-working, and the pleasure to learn from colleagues from all around the world on the pros and cons of starting a project and their experience. And the fact also that there was a lot of people changing in the associations now also enables here the Association Place team to reach out to an audience which is very open to our space, which you may see on my back, which is our lounge, and they like to come to our events and use our platform as an information space.
So the space, the Association Place, started not necessarily as a venue, as a physical place you could meet, but more as a community where you organized events and went to different venues all over the city and things like that.
Yeah, well, the study mission was essential. I'm thankful to my colleague Lara, who was the main project manager at that time, and she was visiting all co-working spaces, had a good contact with the Belgian Workspace Association, and received good advice. We developed also a very good business planning at that time, which had to, and we, in fact, we see that with all the changes in the way of working of people, well, this has to be constantly adapted, and even our current plans, that what was planned for
Yes.
2024, well, we have to change it
Change.
slightly for next year, but we have some key assets of this year that we want to continue.
Okay, so what does it look like today in 2024?
2024 was partly, well, it was an inauguration year. So
Yes.
we started with some objectives and with some thoughts and plans. The situation has been a little bit different of what we planned, but we had some we had a lot of success with our monthly event called Association Connect, which is kind of monthly masterclass where with usually the third week of the month, we have a session on different topics. We had about EU issues, which will also be the next one in October. We had about association management. We have a theater play as well. So how people can introduce themselves using theater techniques. It really varies. So
yes.
we have a room, so we use it to different possibilities. Moreover, in September, since we knew there were many new people coming into the association community, we had some information sessions. One was about organizing meetings in Brussels, and so what a convention bureau may provide us services, what novelties are coming here in Brussels. And another one was on the evolution of the European quarter, because we are located in the heart of the European quarter. So we are also aware of the big changes that are happening here. And we also had a session on using game design into association strategy. So that was a combination of some academic research and some practitioner view. And in fact, you could be surprised how the scenario of Super Mario can be used for an association lifetime journey. So.
Well, I love gamification, and I'm always surprised at how little it is used in communication or also in general management, because it's so interesting and it's so fun and effective. So it should be more popular.
Yes, it's gradually being introduced in many areas. So I guess with the new generation of people who are much more used to some let's say new kind of game of cooperative games, which are live streamed. So it will be interesting to see what will be the impact on networks and associations.
True. And that's for 2024. 2025, you say, would be slightly different. You had to change your plans.
Well, we want to continue on what is what we'll be doing next year. So with the information sessions, with the Association Connect, with specific topics. So we are contacting now potential speakers. Also, some associations have contacted us on topics that they deal on an everyday basis, but then can be used wisely by others. We want to further promote the co-working possibilities here at the venue, as well as the use of the meeting space, especially that we have hybrid connection possibilities. So for people who are abroad,
Yes.
well, they can connect with fellows from Australia or elsewhere. Well, no, that depends on the time zone as well.
There's a slight, like 1 or 2 hours when our work hours kind of match, but it's very small.
Yes. And then well, still this year and that's I would like to invite all those who are in Brussels or will be in Brussels on the 26th of November. We'll have our combined with our first year celebration, kind of nocturnal event. So to make people familiar with the venue, with our activities, discover some animations. So maybe if someone is interested in contributing, we still have some possibilities. And we'll be then outlining our 2025 activities at this occasion too.
Yeah, no, super nice. So that's end of 2024 and 2025. So that's short term. In the long term, what do you see the space is going to be? What are your plans? May they be concrete or fluffy? What's the vision?
Well, the vision is to keep it as a community house for international associations. The aim is to provide the information to associations. We are open every day, so if people may even come spontaneously, ask us questions about Brussels, about how to, we can guide them to specific providers for setting up the association, or if they have questions on organizing meetings or events in Brussels. They can jump into work and go then for a meeting in the EU quarter. Kind of continuous movement will be welcome. And the fact that the associations are evolving, the fact that we also have associations wishing to organize events and present novelties. Even this week, we have the European Society of Association Executives presenting their Association Leaders Toolkit, which shows that there is a wish for promoting the association, the international association profession, and that niche spaces can be helpful to reach their goals.
Yeah, no, nice. And that's about the space. What about you? How do you see your role in all this? Do you believe you will be working as the association place for a long time?
Myself, I like the place. Here, the venue is very cozy, so we are quite informal. So, and I think we have a good time and good conversations when we come here. I'm very thankful to the team that is coming here every day, and in particular to my colleague Elise, who she's the soul of here, the association place. So we shall see. So I hope that people may keep continue coming. Oh, by the way, Elise.
Hello. Nice to
Hi,
meet you.
Elise. So this is the soul of the association place.
Yes, she's the soul of the association place. She's been here since the start in January, and whenever you come, you will see her smile and can benefit from all the good things we have here on site, and also also online in the communication. So.
Hello.
See you. Yes, I was going to ask, who are your different colleagues? Is it just Elise and you taking care of everything, or do you have a bigger team all specialized in freelancing? How does it work?
Well, we are a team of three, so because so two full-time, one person part-time taking care of the venue. Our friend Case, who's not here for the moment, but this week he will be very busy with all the events that are taking place here. So
okay, busy man.
Yes, we have a meeting tomorrow, then another big one on Thursday, and then also conference, another hybrid meeting on another day. So, and also colleagues from Visit Brussels come here to almost every day to provide their knowledge to all the visitors, as well as organize sessions or meetings.
Yeah, so quite the core team of three, and then quite electrons around you.
Yes, so well, to coordinate all that, it's also a challenge, especially that as when a person manages a project, also has to look for partnerships, has to look with on administrative issues, some communications as well. And luckily, we can share many of these responsibilities among different persons.
Yes, yes. Well, we're closely coming to an end. So before we say goodbye, I wanted to ask if you'd like to add anything we haven't talked about yet.
It's
you can say no, maybe so good.
No, maybe it's an interesting experience. I think it's good to pioneer something like this in Europe for such a big community. We hope that people will and organizations will have trust in the association place, and then we can in fact build so many interesting projects together, and so that the co-working becomes really special in its sense. So.
Well, I'm sure that it's already special because it's providing all the information and coordinating all the different actors in it. So, and it's very special, surely, as a community before the space was opened. So you've been there for a long time, actually, even if a space is newborn. So it's just a physical shape to something that was already there.
Yes. So, and that's a good. That was also the question of mindset, not to focus just on the venue, because sometimes it may take some time, but also what's surrounding it, and how to keep the contact with people, keep the think about, learn from others continuously, adapt to circumstances. So that's the.
I have maybe one last question. Is before you were hosting all those events and everything, but in other venues. Right now you have your own venues, but why? What was the choice? You could have just kept the community alive, but without your own venue, that was an option.
Indeed, but there was a commitment, and from the organization, but also from the Brussels Capital Region, who's behind the project, and the willingness to continue having. In fact, people identify themselves with a physical space, and the fact that here we can observe also what is happening in the European quarter, where over 60% of European associations are present. So. You can walk around and meet them. That's also positive. So.
Yeah, and you needed a space to put all those over 2,000 associations in one building. That's a big building you have.
No, well, that would.
Not at the same time. Not at the same time.
No. So. Well, when hologram technology will evolve, we will do it.
on the screen. On the screen, yes. Okay. Well, thank you very much for our talk. It was lovely to hear about all the difference that you took to come here from being a beer lawyer to now managing a space of for associations. If people want to know more about your space or about you, where can they contact you?
Oh, it's quite easy. So in the U quarter, we are at Avenue d'Ouderghem 63. So from Monday to Friday, as from 9 a.m. So you can pop in. And on LinkedIn, we still keep the Association Bureau Brussels identity, where we promote the activities of the association place. So even direct messages can be sent over there. But we also kept our identity on the Visit Brussels website. And it's easy to remember also www.associations.brussels, where you can find the reference to us. And also the email is very similar, associations@visit.brussels. So I think it's easy to remember, easy to note, and just send us something.
Just in case, I add the links in the comments so that people can find them easily and tag you along the path. So you'll be there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being an amazing guest, and